So Mars in the ninth house, for me, I call those people Crusaders. I call them basically Indiana Joneses of the zodiac, of the horoscope. You know, these people have such a free-spirited adventurous spirit in them, because Mars is the planet of action, where we put a lot of energy and enthusiasm and activity in. And the ninth house is the house of travel, is the house of exploration of different cultures, expanding our horizons either by traveling or learning new belief systems or different belief systems or different philosophies. So it's a very philosophical, very open-minded, very global house about accepting and embracing other cultures. And Mars gives us a lot of energy. Mars makes us, if you have Mars in the ninth house, you'll be someone who puts a lot of energy into pursuing such activities. Someone who might even be a professional traveler of some sort. Someone who needs to study, someone also who, what gives them energy and what sparkles their motivation is Mars as well. Is learning about new countries, is learning about new things, expanding their mind, being active or traveling in foreign countries overall. And actually, if you have Mars in the ninth house and you feel demotivated, you have no joie de vivre, as they call it, or you have no lustful life. Mars is the passion in the horoscope, the passion to go after what you want. And sometimes there are periods in our life, everyone will feel it, where they feel like, I don't feel like anything, I don't feel no enthusiasm. Mars is our enthusiasm, action and motivation to get up and go and do things. And if Mars is in your ninth house and you don't feel that enthusiasm and passion, how you can spark it, or even if your child is like that, or your lover, you know, and you want them to get back to feel alive, to be active, to be motivated. If they have no competitive spirit in them, or motivation or desire for success, which is all Mars, desire for achievement, to go after their goals, well, then you have to activate this ninth house, and then Mars will awaken, which means go on a trip to a foreign country, or at least if it's not a foreign country, different state, or overnight staying somewhere a bit. Go explore different cultures, speak with foreigners, of some people that are different socially, culturally than you, people from out of state, people from a different social background. The ninth house rules people that are above us or somehow different than us, in a different social status, different background, foreign in some way. So this is what's going to motivate you, spark your desire and interest to activate yourself, to get going, to get ambitious again, or start exploring philosophy, start exploring higher knowledge, deep dive into basically something like with lots of, you know, new belief systems, into a new, maybe watching channels like Gaia or whatever, learning astrology, higher knowledge is all this ninth house. Put some energy there, and this will, you know, you have to create some energy in order for energy to be generated. You have to put some energy to create energy, and when Mars is in your ninth house, you do it either through travel, through finding out some, you know, finding out some new goal. Ninth house also rules our goals. But basically interacting with people that are different than us, by traveling, by expanding our mind, by studying philosophical or new ideological and belief systems. And naturally such people are drawn to such things, but if they're lacking the enthusiasm, go and do this. And those people that have Mars in the ninth house, they have usually avid love for traveling and exploring. But if Mars has difficult aspects, say Mars is opposed by Saturn, or Mars has square by Saturn, or is with the North Node or South Node, which create problems, or Uranus, sudden disruptions, or some difficult aspect that's in the ninth house, then I would advise you to be careful when you're traveling to foreign places, because this can create certain accidents at foreign places or situations that are disruptive when it comes to foreign places and travel. Plus, the ninth house rules the father, or anyone who is like a mentor, teacher, advisor figure in our life, professors, priests, you know, someone that we look up to for knowledge and wisdom. And that's why in ancient astrology, the ninth house, it shows the relationship you have with the father. The 10th house is specifically the circumstances of the father, the authority figure in your life. But the ninth house is the father and all mentor, teacher figures in your life. And when Mars is there, especially if it has some difficult aspects, your father might have been more combative. You might have thought, you might fight still more with your father. Your father might be more reckless or very dynamic, might be a sportsman, might be someone who is activist, someone who is competitive businessman, which is all Mars things, or might be someone that you fight more, that you have more arguments with, and not only the father, but with teachers and professors and people of wisdom, as they call them. You might have certain clashes of opinions because they are strong personalities like Mars, but this is your horoscope, so you react very opinionated to such people as well. So there might be like some power struggles with people that are considered people of philosophy, of knowledge, of mentors, of teachers of yours, and father figures of yours. Usually the father might have been very, maybe a sportsman, sometimes an engineer, combative relationship with the father. I'm just reading my... And sometimes in extreme cases, if Mars has also difficult aspects, as I said, the father might have been physically separated from the child. And in worst case scenario, a father that is a bully, maybe, that was beating you or being physical or fighting with you, or very sexualized person, father. And also 9th house is our teacher. Sometimes Mars is a sexual planet. We might have had teachers that, figures that we look up to. So maybe some people with Mars in the 9th house, especially with some more difficult influences, might have had like a sexual relationship with a teacher or be attracted sexually towards a mentor or a teacher in their life. It usually just indicates to most people that have Mars in the 9th house that the father is more vigorous, and teachers usually are more vigorous, and the people they look up to and people that they have as an inspiration, they're kind of stronger, more masculine, go-getters, competitive figures of some sort. And a lot of sports people, successful sports people, have Mars in the 9th house, like Dwayne Johnson, The Rock, Jean-Claude Van Damme, Muhammad Ali. They have Mars in the 9th house, because the 9th house is also the house of what makes us happy, or in a sense what makes us excited, what gives us meaning in life. The 9th house is meaning and purpose in life, our goals in life, what makes us wake up in the morning, because the 9th house is associated with Sagittarius energy. And Sagittarius is about having some goal and some purpose in life. The Sagittarian energy in the 9th house is depicted by basically an arrow, a centaur pointing an arrow towards the future somewhere. And the 9th house is those goals and those thoughts and feelings that makes it worth for us to wake up in the morning and to have purpose in our life, to feel meaning in our life. And when Mars is there, usually sports or some physical activity is something that gives us meaning, that gives us purpose in life. That's why so many great sports people have Mars in the 9th house, and usually sports for them is not just some kind of game or just something to make money with. It's a whole philosophy, it's a whole ideology, it's a lifestyle for them. Because 9th house is how we approach our worldview and approach to reality, basically, how we perceive the higher reality and our goals and our meaning and purpose in life. So for them, sports become meaning and purpose in life. Plus, whatever we have in the 9th house is the house of opportunities, what opens doors for us. And when planet Mars is there, people with Mars in the 9th house, just being physically active or doing some sports can be like a door opening to some new opportunities, new horizons for them, like it was for those famous sports people. Or just going to the gym or doing yoga or something like that can, for example, you can meet someone there that can open opportunity or business doors for you, or that can bring some purpose or meaning in you. So if you're lacking meaning in life, if you're lacking inspiration in life, 9th house is meaning and inspiration, start doing some physical activity. Or again, get active even in foreign countries. But usually physical activity, Mars is enough to trigger that 9th house to bring meaning and purpose into your life. And also Mars rules all kind of sports. 9th house is something with meaning, something with philosophical incline, that is not just sports for the sake of sports. So such people might be much more attracted to sports as an expression of some belief system, maybe like Tai Chi, something. 9th house very spiritual, religious. It's kind of philosophical background to it, higher meaning and purpose. So yoga, tai chi, and such kind of sports that they have a meaning behind them. They're fantastic. They can be great. Ninth house is also about teaching others. So these people can be fantastic teachers of sports, of yoga, of something physical, or maybe teachers for competitive, anything competitive. Ninth house is teaching. Mars, you can teach anything connected to Mars. You're naturally enthusiastic about Mars topic. You naturally have higher knowledge. Ninth house is the higher knowledge and higher, deeper understanding about things connected to Mars, which is physical activity. Mars, which is which is military strategy, which is anything to do being a strategist as well. Foreseeing the future is the ninth house, and Mars is kind of having the logic, like Mars is a soldier. Mars is a general, in astrology. The someone who plans logically the next move. Okay, this is what I want in my life, or this is what this company has to achieve. How do I get there logically? How do I charge this and get moving and make it happen? This is Mars. So when you have it in the ninth house, you can be fantastic as a coach to help others get their life going, for example, as a business advisor for competitive businesses, to see the bigger picture and to outline for them logically, because ninth house, the bigger picture, seeing future trends as well. Seeing the bigger picture, and Mars is some action plan, and creating an action plan to fulfill that goal, that future vision, to get you to a goal. So someone who implements action plans in business, for example, can have Mars in the ninth house. Someone who is a consultant, and it's especially in regards to more competitive businesses, you can be consultant, more cutthroat businesses, because Mars has this competitive energy. Or you can be just a teacher, advisor in sports, as I said, or maybe a coach of some sort, and that can be physical coach, or that can be also a coach in university, or you can be someone who is a coach, a motivational coach that inspires others to get going, to move their bums, because Mars is about action. Ninth house is inspiration, who makes someone has purpose to get up in the morning, to get motivated, to gather back their physical energy and put it into something. So, this is something you can do naturally. Plus, ninth house is the house of being enthusiastic and believing in something. And Mars is very pushy planet. So these people can be great salesmen, but if they believe in what they're selling, if they believe in their product, otherwise they're not going to be a good salesman. If they believe in their product, so usually that's why they prefer professions, or they can be great salesmen and push the ideas when they believe in them, usually like priests, teachers, coaches, or some idea or some product they believe in, they'll push it, they can promote it really well. Because ninth house, whatever planet you have there, you believe in it, you have enthusiasm about it, and this enthusiasm moves through your ears, and you can get others contaminated with your enthusiasm. And Mars is pushy. You don't give up. You go, go, go. You're like, I'm so passionate about this product. It might be it might be not a product. It might be some belief system. So you go and push it on others. And it might be a project, a belief system, but still, I'm just talking about business generally. These people can be good in businesses if they believe in it, in a business that has some higher purpose, for example, as well. And if they believe in something, they would push it on others, because Mars is a pushy planet. If, say, you believe in essential oils, you'll be constantly banking on your opinions on others and saying, you have to try this. Or if you believe that vaccines are bad, you're going to go and fight for that. You're going to say everything bad, cancer comes from vaccines, everything, and, everything bad comes from vaccines, or whatever it is. If you believe something, you would push it on others, you would preach it. That's why they can be fantastic, like fire and brimstone preachers, and with so much passion. My grandmother used to have Mars in the ninth house, and she was so passionate about what she believed, and she would preach it to others, and she would, kind of sometimes even pushing it onto others. That's the other extreme, especially if Mars is afflicted with some other cruel planets like Saturn or Uranus or North Node, and you tend to be pushy on others about your belief systems. And if you don't have some goal and some proper outlet to put this Mars energy, especially an outlet that is connected to your beliefs, to some higher purpose and cause, or to following some goal. Because once they have a goal, they put so much energy in it. The ninth house is goals, you know, and Mars is action, so they start going after it. But if they don't have that, they will be clashing up with others. They'll be butting heads a lot through their opinions, because ninth house is what you believe in. And if you're not putting it constructively, like hands-on something, this energy still needs to go somewhere. So they'll go and argue with others. They'll argue about what they believe, about philosophy, about politics, about the worldviews they have. They'll butt heads with other people, belief systems as well. They might want to go and fight like other people's belief systems. And I believe that a lot of the Crusaders 1,000 years ago must have had Mars in the ninth house. People that go and fight Mars, a religious battle, the ninth house, a battle of beliefs, battle of ideologies. And there are many people that go into the military with Mars in the ninth house now, and they don't do it just to get a paycheck. They do it because they believe in some goal of that. They believe in the higher purpose of the military, to protect or whatever it is, to release other countries. And often people with Mars in the ninth house might go for prolonged stays, military missions abroad. Ninth house is foreign countries. Mars is, you know, foreign military action. Or if you're not doing that, you can express your Mars by just loving to travel and go and be super active when you travel. Basically go do extreme sports in foreign countries, or just be on the road, moving all the time and be very active, or maybe pursue some competitive business in a foreign country, because Mars is anything competitive. Maybe pursue some area, some competitive actions, or very busy interactions with youthful people. Mars is youthful in foreign places as well. You can have some sexual experiences. Mars is the planet of sex in foreign countries, with foreigners as well. With young, Mars is young males, you know, or very sexual foreigners of some sort. You can go on a sex tourism with Mars in the ninth house. You see, we're combining all the different meanings of Mars in the ninth house, and we're coming up with those crazy things, but I've seen them. They can manifest from, you know, from the highest to the lowest, from someone who goes for sex tourism, depending how Mars is aspected in foreign countries, to Mother Teresa. She had Mars in the ninth house, who was fighting and physically active Mars for God, ninth house, for a higher purpose. You know, so you can manifest from someone who goes on a crusade to save someone because they believe, to fight in the name of a higher purpose, of a cause. That's the high manifestation of Mars in the ninth house. To do something actively for a cause they believe, or for a goal. Or it might be somewhere in the middle, where you're just following your interests and being very great promoter, for example, a very pushy promoter of something you believe in. You know, very competitive, or very someone who is a coach, as I said, all those things that I mentioned, that advises others about future trends, or kind of creates an action plans for others for future trends. Another thing is Mars rules all production. Any kind of like factories, and say manufacturing of cars or machines. Ninth house is foreign countries, so this can mean someone who works in a manufacturing companies that produces foreign countries, or foreign manufacturing companies. It might be within their country, but it might be a foreign company of some sort. Or they might go and work something more physical, more hands-on, or something more competitive in a foreign corporation or in a foreign country. The ninth house. And this Mars in the ninth house can manifest in different ways depending what Mars rules in your horoscope. Say, if Mars rules your ascendant, say if Mars rules your ascendant is Scorpio or Aries, and it's in the ninth house, say basically in Sagittarius, if your ascendant is in Aries, or in Cancer, if your ascendant is Scorpio, then it can mean that you will physically, because the first house is you and the ruler of the first house is in the ninth, be involved and be living for long periods of your life in foreign places. Or that you will be very involved in higher education, academics, teaching, coaching, traveling of some sort. And again, as I said, this can be teachers or people that are professors, very active professors, or people that are, for example, Mars in the ninth house, I've seen in people that the ninth house is higher education. So someone who is in college football, for example, someone who manages to get some kind of scholarship because in a higher in the academic environment. That's another manifestation that can work out. But going back to ruler of the, if Mars is the ruler of the first house, your ascendant is in the ninth house, you might physically and be very actively involved in academics, even be kind of someone who works or studies in academic, who is physically involved in academic sports of some sort, or in college football, whatever they call it, or someone who lives abroad, who travels abroad a lot, who is very active abroad, who spends big part of their life abroad. If Mars is the ruler of the second house and is in the ninth, maybe you can make better money by combining yourself with foreigners, so through teaching, through foreign countries, through coaching of some sort, through preaching, or through being in foreign places, or through foreign companies. Second house is money. Third house in the ninth house is that you have very strong opinions and go fight for them, or that you can be very much involved in media information exchange and teaching. That third house is having knowledge, gathering information, and ninth house is teaching it, spreading it around. So the ruler of the third in the ninth, if it's Mars, you actively go and preach information that you've gathered or skills that you've created, in some way. Or the ruler of the fourth in the ninth. Fourth is where we live. We can live in a foreign country when it's in the ninth. The ruler of the fifth in the ninth, your children might live in foreign countries, so be very academic, or be kind of your luck can come in life, or you can be luckier because ninth house is luckier through your children. The ruler of the sixth house in the ninth, your work can be connected to something to do with teaching or preaching or foreign countries as well. And you might find a better doctor. Sixth house is doctors and health problems in a foreign country, or get a better health treatment in a foreign country. The ruler of the seventh in the ninth, if it's Mars, you might end up having a spouse who is an academic, who is quite high-minded, or teacher, preacher, or a spouse who is foreigner. Or you meet a spouse while you are traveling abroad, or they're coach of some sort. The ruler, and that like that we go through all the different positions. The ruler of the eighth, maybe you're in the ninth house. Maybe you can strengthen your mutual resources with your partner in a foreign country of some sort, or the ruler of the ninth in the ninth is just very reaffirming position for the ninth house. Everything that I was speaking about matters for them. The ruler of the 10th in the ninth, your highest achievements and social status in the world depends very much from having a good qualification, from good high education. So you have to invest in that and pursue it actively, and it's a Raj Yoga for success. And that you succeed in foreign countries as well, and that your profession might be connected to teaching, preaching, traveling of some sort. The rule of the 11th and the 9th may be friends in your social circle, that you create very strong networks through college or universe environment that helps you have more gains later in life, that your gains are connected to foreign places in some way, or that your friends are connected to foreign places, or academic or high-minded people of some sort. And the rule of the 12th in the 9th is that your spirituality, that you're kind of 12th house is spirituality, 9th house is religion. So you have very spiritual, idealistic belief systems. And also it's a big combination for living abroad. But anyway, so Mars in the 9th house can play out in so many different ways. It's actually quite good position in most cases. And look at the high-minded people like activists for something they believe in. Mars is activity. Angelina Jolie has Mars in the 9th house. Madonna has Mars in the 9th house. They both are strongly involved with foreigners. They're both strongly involved with something they believe in that is connected to foreign countries as well, and that is connected to acting on their beliefs and doing something useful. And the 9th house is what is God for you? What is for you? How do you perceive God? How do you perceive the universe? And for you, how do you please God? Well, just like Mother Teresa did, through action, by doing something. Mars is doing something for those in need, rather than just sitting there and look at Madonna, look at Angelina Jolie. They do it, and they're both, they're very vociferous about their beliefs, especially Madonna with her Kabbalah. should impose it on others, or should put it on her concert. She puts it out there. Mars is forceful. Her belief systems is the 9th house, and they're very invested energetically also in their belief systems, whether they're philosophical, spiritual, just political belief systems. Many such people can go into politics to fight for some cause as well. And enthusiasm for fighting, for opening new horizons through, and they can be very much, we said, like that, lucky in sports, lucky in anything connected to Mars. And another person, Spinoza, famous philosopher, 9th house is the house of philosophy, who renewed philosophy. He was on the verge, basically he was the philosopher who, Mars is about new things. 9th house, Mars wants to break the status quo. Mars is this planet that it kind of wants new things, new innovations of some sort. And Spinoza was the one who innovated philosophy. He was considered the father of enlightenment, one of the fathers of enlightenment from the transition from the Middle Dark Ages to the Renaissance was ushered through the new philosophy that Spinoza brought in. So he breaks rules through Mars, breaking the dogmas. Mars is a knife breaking, hacking away, at the old. And breaks away the dogmas of religions. But he had a lot of clashes with religious authorities. Actually, he was exiled from the church because Mars is fight. So even in your life nowadays, when you have Mars in the 9th house, you might fight a lot with authorities over your belief systems and challenge old belief system of others. And even Spinoza was attacked in a synagogue, place of praise and worship, 9th house, churches, places of praise and worship, with a knife, and be careful, especially if your Mars has 9 house aspects, difficult aspects in the 9th house when you're traveling abroad, plus when you're in churches and places of worship, because there might be some physical attack or there might be some kind of a stress happening there depending how badly Mars is afflicted. And interesting enough, Spinoza also worked in the import-export business. 9th house, foreign countries, import-export, Mars, competitive business. Well, there you go. His whole life was epitome of Mars in the 9th house. That's what I have. So they see and actually physical activity, Mars can be access to God, can be access to experience God in the physical body, basically. 9th house is how we perceive God, how we experience it. We can do it through exercise, so basically through some yoga, kundalini. These people can have spiritual experiences, or spiritual awakenings through some kind of physical activity. I think that's everything from now. They're very restless. They like to learn new things. They like to travel to distant lands. They might have travel day if Mars is badly aspected. Thank you so much. Propensity for bluntness and being too pushy with their opinions. They'll be very honest. They'll tell you what they think and see. So Mars in the 9th house, they're not going to bullshit with you. So on that note, thank you so much. You're the adventurers of the whole zodiac sign. I'm Astrolada.com. To learn astrology with me, check out all my courses. There is a link below. You'll see how much information I can give you. Imagine if you're learning personally with me.